What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pat's Chat. I'm Doug Kyed, not in a car,
Not in a car.
alongside Michael Hurley, as always, not in a car. Two guys, not in a car, talking about the Patriots. How we doing, Michael?
It's a quasi-professional sounding podcast. I'm thinking I should get a race car bed and do the podcast from there. So one of us is always in a car at
Are
least.
there like race car computer chairs that we could use?
No, only beds.
No? All right. Maybe I'll go to the arcade and do it from a Mario Kart uh, arcade
Yeah. Do you know what's funny? When we
game.
were kids, Cruising USA was at all the arcades, and
Yeah.
now it seems to be, in my observance, Fast and the Furious. They've got those,
Yeah.
and
Must have
it's
bought the rights.
pretty crazy. I'll be honest. The rate, it's not your normal Cruising USA. I'll tell you that much. It's crazy, but they
Nope.
do have Mario Kart too.
I describe it as being furious and fast.
I would think those are both accurate adjectives.
All right. Well,
Too
the Patriots
too
have a
fast,
53-man roster for
too
now.
furious.
It is Tuesday, August 26th, 6:16 p.m. And we have an initial 53-man roster. We might need to podcast again tomorrow to do an update on this. But for now, I would say the biggest surprise cut was Braden Swinson, who you obviously purposefully left off of your 53-man roster projection last week.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry that I've observed his play a little bit more closely than you have this summer, and I just didn't see a guy that's making the roster. No, I mean that's the lone draft pick of the year of this year that
No,
didn't make
and
the
Kobe
roster.
Minor both
Oh,
didn't make it.
Miner got cut as well. Okay. Yeah, I have an overarching take, Doug, but I'm saving it to the end. But just so you know, this will apply. My take will apply to this news as well. But yeah, he didn't. Is how many of our projected 53 didn't make it?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Oh,
I'll
we
look
should
that
have
up.
prepared. We should have prepped
I
it.
did
We
my
should have
own. So
freaking
I did a
prepped it.
final 53 this week, and I hit 50 out of 53, which
Okay.
is not bad.
Yeah.
Um, so you had we or you, whatever you want to say, had Wooldridge on it. So that's one that we didn't
Yikes.
get.
Well, that was before the Giants game, so
That is true. Yeah. Um,
we had three running backs. We did not have eight
you
receivers.
you had Demontre Jacobs on there. You had Cole Strange on there.
Let me interrupt. We could get to that later. Let me
Sherman
ask you.
Jones.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
What's your top line headline from today? Hmm.
8 wide receivers. I think that that's kind of telling that like a lot of these guys who are on the roster, or at least a handful, not a lot. A lot would be excessive. Some guys who are on this roster probably won't be on the roster tomorrow because like you're not keeping 8 wide receivers. That just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So
Is it
like
strange then that Bourne isn't already on IR with designated to return? Because that felt
yeah,
like, oh, there's eight, but
right.
they'll stash Bourne until October or something.
Yeah, but like they had the option to put 2 guys on IR designated return, and they only did it with July Tavai. Jalen Polk is not on designated return; he's out for the season. So they had the option to do it. I think that Bourne's going to start being a little bit more involved.
Huh.
That's what this tells me. So, I think the other headline too is that like they could not find anyone to take the players that they had on the roster bubble. Like no
Mhm.
one wanted any Patriots players,
Well, for the money,
which makes sense.
which
Right.
the
But
question
that's
I
part of
kept,
it. Yeah.
yeah, but the question I kept asking from the Patriots is like, why would you pay Kyle Duggar to play for someone else when he could be your back? Like, if you're going to
Right.
pay anyway, you might as well have him in case you need him
Right. To be Jabril Peppers backup or whatever it is. Yeah.
to be Marte Mapu's backup.
Potentially. Yeah.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem like he has a safety role on the team.
Right. Like I think they view him as only being a box safety. I don't think they view
Yeah,
him as being a deep safety the way that
maybe
they do
he's
with Craig Woodson and Jalen Hawkins.
maybe he's a 3rd and 2 safety. Do they have those? Like a
Like a goal
like
line safety.
they
Yeah.
take out a defensive tackle and they put in a safety for short yardage third downs. How about
Yeah.
that?
And like Anthony Jennings made the team. Kendrick Bourne made the team. Like all these guys that since the beginning of the summer, you're like, these guys are buried on the depth chart. And I think that tells you that this was a roster lacking NFL caliber talent, let's say.
Mhm.
So players like Bourne, Jennings, and Duggar, who are NFL level talent, you look at that and say, like, all right, might as well keep them on.
Yeah. I guess it's time for my take. I was going to wait. I was going to let you do. So that was your number one takeaway, 8 receivers. What was number two?
Number two, I think, would just be like the lack of players left from 2022 and 2024. So there's three guys left from the 2024 NFL draft, which is honestly wild. So you've got Javon Baker, who knows how long he's going to be on the team. Kane Wallace, I think the same thing could apply for him as well. Like if they feel great about some guard who's out there on waivers, Kane Wallace would probably be the first one to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then Drake May, who's not going anywhere. So that's not ideal. And then from the 2022 draft, which was only a few years ago, only guy left now at this point is Marcus Jones.
Wow. Yeah. No, I mean it's obviously the root of most of their issues, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And like honestly, good thing the 2023 draft was somewhat productive. Like at least that one that comes out smelling like roses compared to the other ones.
Yeah. I've seen the other two. So
So
refreshing my memory
2023 is
right now.
Christian
Gonzalez,
Gonzalez,
Keon White,
Keon White,
Marte
Marte
Mapu.
Mapu, Keyshawn Booty, Damari Douglas, Bryce Baringer. I
Sure.
think that's
That's
it.
it.
But
That's it
like,
for yeah.
but I mean, I know the caliber of wide receivers on this roster is lower than other teams, but to
Yeah.
get two potential starting wide receivers in the 6th round, you're not doing too bad there.
Yeah, and I guess my question to you being Mr. Plugged In, Mr. You got your notepad, your pen, your phone, you're all doing the reporter thing. They're going to make a waiver claim. What's the first position they're going? I would imagine it's on the offensive line somewhere, but do you think they have other intentions?
I would say like they can make as many as they want,
Yeah.
but guard and tight end, I think would be near the top of the list for me.
Well, you think they'll get Dolchich after he whooped their ass last week?
Maybe not Dulcich, but they've got the Saints tight end that's out there. Jelani Woods, the Colts tight end. Like a lot of the guys who are being cut today, I was like, yeah, that guy probably would have been like third on the depth chart here, like
Yeah.
fourth, like, and I don't know, like I like Jack Westover. He's got versatility. There just wasn't ever a moment with him this summer where I was like, okay, Jack Westover has to make the team.
Yeah. Well,
I think
plus
yeah.
you saw Jakob Johnson was released, so
Yep, Jakob Johnson released.
you know
So
that made Josh McDaniels feel a little tingly at least, right?
no, absolutely. And like I don't want to disparage the guys who have made the roster. I don't want to ruin their day or anything like that. But
Yeah.
like the reality of the situation is that like we're all calling this an initial 53-man roster
Mhm.
for a reason. Because there's a chunk of these guys who won't be here.
Well, I guess to answer my question that I asked you is I have the position by position roster up now, which does have Kendrick Bourne in it. I guess initially it didn't. Did you see that one?
Yeah, the
Whoopsies.
initial one didn't have Caden Wallace on it either.
Hmm.
It did have Cole Strange and Braden Swinson. So my theory there, maybe rooting out the rats, maybe the Patriots were hesitant to send over their initial
Oh,
53-man
God.
roster until the very last moment. Maybe they were
Not
pulling some tricks
That's
over
not
there
great.
in New England.
I guess another headline before we get into this is that Andy Borregales won the kicking competition. So I don't know if he wasn't picked in the draft this year. Do you think that he would have been the day one kicker on this team?
It's
Let's say he was a
it's a
UDFA.
complicated question, and like my initial thought is no, but at the same time, like obviously they saw something from him in college to warrant using a draft pick on him. So like heading in, clearly they thought that this guy's worth a 6th-round pick. But like I'm not a kicking expert, but if this was a real competition, I would say that Parker Romo won it with his performance this summer. He hit the 57-yarder. Andy Borregales shanked that to Walpole, wherever they were.
Kick. I believe that was Minnetonka. Landed in Lake Michigan.
Exactly.
Lake Superior. I'm not sure which lake would be, but yeah, no. But I would say Parker Romo was better, but it wasn't by such an overwhelming margin that it decided. Like I think back to like the Rohrwasser summer, they could not have put him on the roster.
You could like Borregales did enough because it was really tight through most of the summer where it's like, wow, these guys are hitting everything.
Yeah.
But then it did feel like to some degree Parker Romo pulled away with a missed 57-yarder. And then also in that Giants game, Borregales missed a 49-yarder as well. So like, I don't know, if I'm the Patriots, I'm feeling like a tiny bit shaky maybe heading into
Yeah.
the season about your picker. And I
And
don't think that like Parker Romo makes you feel like super uber confident either.
right.
So maybe that's what they're weighing too, where it's like, I don't know, do we believe in this guy that much more?
Right. I think if he was a UDFA instead of a draft pick,
Yeah.
it's probably a different choice,
Right.
but like you said, it's probably not a significant difference. So I'm looking at the position by position. Let's just go
Yeah.
through and we say whether we think that might be somewhere they look to add in the coming days. You have 2 quarterbacks. I don't know if they're going to really explore that. Our guy Tommy DeVito did get released.
Yeah.
Not sure what else is out there in the quarterback market, but
So
I would
Logan Woodside is out there. He was with the Titans with Vrabel. There's another one too. Mike White, Tommy DeVito.
the Florida State quarterback got waived by the Chargers. I don't think they're going to go after him.
No, but what's his Kyle McCord, the Eagles 6th-round pick, got waived. So I would
Jake
say,
Hayner, Taylor Elgersma.
yeah, Jake Hayner. I personally think like you probably take your chances that like those guys clear waivers
Yeah.
and then you try to sign them to the practice squad. You say like, hey, listen, Joshua Dobbs is our backup. He was pretty shaky this year. Sign to our practice squad, and maybe you can be our backup at some point this season,
Yeah.
rather than just like, being on some team's practice squad forever.
Yeah.
So that would be my case for it.
What percentage chance would you say
that they claim someone?
Yeah, for the 53. I would say low for the 53, high for the practice squad, obviously.
Very high for the practice squad. They're
Yeah.
definitely adding someone there. And since they cut Wooldred so early, seems like that's probably not in their plans at this point. So I would say like, I don't know, 25%, something like that.
Okay. Running backs,
that
they
too
have the
high?
3. Yeah, that is too high for the 53. But unless there's someone out there they really like that we don't know about,
Yeah.
they got a little pet.
I just think that like this roster is not that talented, so you could afford to subtract depth somewhere.
Right. It's just they gave Dobbs $8 million, so I feel like
Right.
they're kind of locked in there. Running backs, they have the 3 guys. I don't think they're going to look at a running back.
No,
Probably,
I think like
yes,
you
but
sign,
we're
like,
not talking
Hasty to
practice
the
squad.
practice squad or
Yeah.
something.
We're
Yeah.
just talking for the 53.
Yeah,
Tight end, you already
53.
mentioned. You think Westover is a possibility for someone they could upgrade.
Yeah, because Josh Wiley, the Titans waived him. He was a guy who spent time with Vrabel. He's big, he's athletic. Like that might be a path they go down.
Okay. They have 8 wide receivers. I'm gonna guess it would be one of the funnier moves if they went out and got someone else.
You know what? Let's make it an even 10 at wide receiver. Yeah.
Well, so I guess there's 2 guys that got hurt in the preseason, and Kyle Williams and Efton Chisholm, neither of whom were placed on IR with designated to return.
No.
Baker, can you make the team as a gunner?
So Vrabel said this week about Javon Baker, like, you have to be able to do something else. Like you have to still contribute at your position. Right. Whereas like Brendan Schooler, I think you can just be a gunner if you're that good at it. Right. But Javon Baker is still like inexperienced enough that it's tough. I mean, Javon Baker caught like 1 of 8 passes this preseason. It was so low. He had some moments during practices, had some moments during joint practices, but it feels to me like he might be one of the first guys who could be left off, who could be on the chopping block for a waiver wire.
Yeah. Sorry for my mechanical noises there.
Because you can't possibly trust Javon Baker on offense at this point.
Well, you just look at, you have your veterans. You have Diggs, you have Douglas, you have Hollins, and then you have Booty, who had the best camp out of all of them, right? So there's your 4 guys that are probably going to play that. Then you have Bourne, who behind Diggs, is the most experienced and productive NFL career.
Yeah.
Then you've got Chisholm, who is like the story of camp. Then you've got Kyle Williams, who's their 3rd round pick.
Right.
So they already have too many guys to play.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, we kind of said Baker did well as a gunner, but it was also like, okay, he drew a personal foul because they blocked him out of bounds. Right. He pushed his guy into the returner that led to a turn. It's not like he was there in pursuit and broke down and tackled people in the open field. So I don't know. That's got to be the weirdest one of the day for sure.
It is, yeah. To include him as an eighth it's just a lot.
I think it speaks to our main point from last week. There's like there's room on this roster to
Yes.
keep guys
No,
because
100%.
which
So
brings
yeah,
us
yeah.
to the offensive line.
Right. So Bradbury, Brown, Bryant, Campbell, Moses, Owenu, and Wilson are going to be on the roster. I would say, oh, my alarm's going off. Vidarian Lowe and Caden Wallace. I think there's still room. There's some wiggle room with those guys right now.
So how many did they keep? 9?
9.
Can't count. 9 guys. You would think it just again speaks to the lack of someone stepping up and
Yeah.
seizing a job or even a
Right.
backup job. You would think that this team would need more depth on the line than with an eighth receiver. So of the
Right.
guys,
But clearly, so they look at this and say Cole Strange had a worse camp than Javon Baker.
yeah, that's a lot. That's kind of a bomb.
Have we said enough about Cole Strange at this point, or do we need to
We can do it now,
relitigate the pick?
but just to so they got rid of Jacobs, Demontre
Yep.
Jacobs, Alec Lidstrom,
Mm-hmm.
and Cole Strange. Those were the O linemen that got cut. The
Right.
fact that none of them could make the team believe they're worth that over an eighth receiver who kind of did well as a gunner in the preseason,
Right.
kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. But Mekhi Butler was also waived, another guard.
I'm
But
not
no, I mean
familiar with
like
his game. I apologize.
no, it's okay. I think that he could wind up being a like a practice squad guy. But yeah, Strange. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I don't think the knee injury certainly helped. What he missed basically an entire year with
Yeah.
it, like an entire calendar year. So his athleticism was a huge strength of his game coming out of Chattanooga, but that's also dismissing the fact that he played for 2 seasons and wasn't great.
Right. He
So
was okay.
he had some okay moments, but he was pretty shaky throughout, I would say.
Yeah. Definitely not a first round pick.
No. And it is wild how sometimes like with him and Tyquan Thornton, like from the very moment they were drafted, everyone's like, "Oh, that's a bust. That's a
Right.
huge reach. That's crazy." And then it comes true. And it's like sometimes people know what they're talking about with this stuff, like sometimes the consensus rankings actually are kind of right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyquan Thornton, another story of the day, making the
Yeah,
Chiefs
made the
roster.
Chiefs.
So,
The Raiders released both of their 6th-round pick quarterbacks.
okay.
So Cam Miller, come on down. I'm not familiar with Cam Miller's game.
Nor am I. Do you want me to look him up? Do you want me to look up his stats? Because that's all you need is the stats.
I'd
College
even love
stats.
to know where he went.
Cam Miller,
North Dakota State.
North Dakota State, of course, had a 73.5% completion rate last year, threw for
Yep.
3,251 yards, 33 touchdowns, 4 picks. You look at his last 2 years, Doug, you're talking 52 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. This kid is the man. Bring him
Do you
in.
want to know who else thrived at North Dakota State?
Um,
Trey Lance and Easton Stick. Does that scare
yeah.
you at all?
Yeah, I actually saw a meme. Oh, that was loud. I'm sorry. I saw a meme today, and it was, I forget the format, but it was basically like we're saying goodbye to the COVID era quarterbacks that are like
Yeah.
26 years old. And
Yeah.
the Patriots obviously had one. And Cam Miller, freshman year 2020, not really, but he did get a fifth year there out of it. There's
Yeah.
guys that spent, 7 years in college. They went to school in like 2019, and they're just coming out. That's sick.
It's truly wild. I mean, like, I think these guys will still somehow figure out how to stick around for like 6 years, but the 6 or 7 years, like, don't you get bored just being in college for that long?
I'll say this. I tell it to young people all the time. If you're a young person listening, never graduate from college because
doesn't it
everything
feel
you think
awkward
about,
after a while though?
everything that you're waiting for out there, it'll still be there, but you won't be in college, and that sucks. Like being
When
in
you
college is
were
nice.
25, do you still want to be like not trapped, but like in an environment with 18-year-olds?
No, but I'd like to be just in college, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
I'd like to, and you get paid now?
Yeah, you get paid.
That's a
pretty
nice little
cool.
gig.
It is.
Oh, I play football. I go to like one class, maybe.
Right.
You know, I'm a grad student or whatever. You get education. Like that's the dream. That's what I want to be when I grow up. A lifelong 7-year football player in college. That's the dream.
Maybe in your next life.
Yeah.
I look forward to that for you. Tommy Millott, he was the quarterback turned wide receiver, went to Montana State. Did
Yeah.
not make the team. Was not the next Julian Edelman for Tom Brady's Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah. No. But back to
But
the
if the Patriots had, if they had showed the same patience with him, maybe he could be. But who
yeah,
knows? Yeah.
perhaps. Back to
All
the
right.
O-line and Cole
Yep.
Strange. What do you think happens with Cole Strange? You think an NFL team picks him up? Because if he couldn't make this O-line, how many teams? I mean, someone might make a bid just because of the draft position, but enough years have passed that it probably isn't all that intriguing.
Maybe a practice squad.
Yeah,
Like the Texans have Cole Popovich as their O line coach. I don't
of
think
course.
he crossed over with Cole Strange. But like
They're
maybe he's
both
like, I
named
don't know.
Cole.
Right. They're both named Cole. Like maybe he runs a similar system to what the Patriots were that, you know, I mean, like but there's not a lot of like coaches from that 22 to 2022 team still around in the NFL that are like, oh, we loved Cole Strange at the time. I mean, like maybe the Rams are like, yeah, let's add him because we had that funny moment 3 years ago. You know what I mean? But
They just feel
I
bad
think
about it.
practice squad is where you're headed for him.
Yeah.
That would be my guess.
What about this practice squad?
Isn't
Too much
if you're Cole
baggage?
Strange, aren't you saying like, you know what? I'm gonna move on. Like clearly, I didn't show enough this summer. And I don't think that what I do as the season progresses is going to push me forward. Like he
Hmm.
started the summer as a starter. He was the starting left guard and then basically found himself on the third string. So
Yeah.
like
It's
usually
not
you
going
would
to
say
happen
like
here.
the only way to go is up. The only way he went is down and like now it feels like he just kept going further and further down. So
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe he's back. Maybe he likes living here. Maybe his wife likes it here, whatever.
Hmm.
But if I were him, I would probably try to get a fresh start
Yeah.
somewhere else.
I have an alternate take. I'm going to
Yeah,
interrupt our Ross because we finished the offense. I'd like
sure.
to take an halftime break because everyone's focusing on the 2024 draft and the 2022 draft
Yeah.
being arguably the worst ever,
Hmm.
maybe. I think the downfall, I mean, this is not the timeline matches up, but if you really hone in on 2018 to 2019, 2018, Bill Belichick tried to trade Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski threatened to retire. Tom Brady yells. They keep Rob Gronkowski. He helps them win a Super Bowl. He makes a diving catch right by the goal line. They score the touchdown. Very cool stuff.
Hmm.
Gronkowski quits football after that. So
Right.
the 2019 season, they go in and they're like, all right, you know what? First round receiver, N'Keal Harry. Whoops. And I just feel like that was the
Yeah.
what's the word? Flashpoint
Right.
where the entire franchise started coming down. Obviously, Tom Brady, it was his last
Right.
year. He stopped believing. He didn't really believe in the 2018 offense.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
when they won in Kansas City and Brady was going nuts, like throwing his
Yeah.
helmet, I think he was genuinely shocked that they won. I don't think
Right.
he really liked his chances in
No,
that
and I
game.
mean, then they had a relatively poor performance in the Super Bowl as well that year
Right.
after a historic performance in 2017.
Literally, he was like, "Well, Chris Hogan can't catch. I'm just going to throw the ball to Julian Edelman all game
Right.
and Rob Gronkowski sometime." But that draft, the 2019 draft, was really like you had N'Keal Harry, then
Yeah.
you had Joanne Williams, then you had Chase Winovich, Damian Harris, Yannick just Hjalti Froholt,
Hmm.
Stidham, Byron Cowart, Jake Bailey, great player, and then Ken Webster.
Quite a
Like
bit.
that
Yeah.
that was when you couldn't get away with the bad drafts anymore.
Right. Yeah.
For
No,
years,
it's
people would harp on like I don't know the 2007 draft, not and it's like
right.
they had 53 guys already.
Yeah,
Like
like when you're drafting a first rounder, then a bunch of fourth through sevens, it's like, yeah, they're probably not gonna make the team.
you
Yeah,
went 16-0. Like
right.
you weren't building through the draft, but I
Yeah,
say that's when the decline really started.
it's true. To close a circle real quick,
Mm.
Nick Caley is also the Texans offensive coordinator, so that's another tie to the Texans potentially for Cole Strange. Evan Rothstein, did you know that he is still in the NFL?
Very quietly stopped being talked about. So I would have.
He is the Broncos director of game management / offensive line assistant.
That's interesting. Is there a Peyton Patricia? Is it just because Patricia stayed loyal to Bill? Because Rothstein was Patricia's guy, right?
He was a Patricia guy. I don't know. Like Sean Payton and Bill Belichick were close.
Yeah.
So maybe this was like Bill being like, hey, this guy's great at what he does. I mean, like, there's listen, Dante Scarnecchia is the perfect example of like, you don't have to look like an offensive lineman to coach offensive line.
Yeah.
But I think if anyone other than Dante Scarnecchia, like the next person in the NFL who doesn't look like an offensive lineman would probably be Evan Rothstein.
There's not looking like an offensive lineman, but still looking normal with a whistle around your neck and
Right.
telling people what to do. And then there's Evan Rothstein.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I didn't honestly hadn't thought about him. I know it was like a story that he stayed with Mayo,
right.
but I don't remember a story ever that he had left. But maybe I was out of town when that happened.
There was a lot of Evan talk last year about Rothstein with Gerard Mayo. He was leaning on him heavily. And
He leaned on a lot of people heavily. All right, over to the defense. The defensive line, you've got 6 guys: Christian Barmore, Joshua Farmer, Jeremiah Farms, Kyrus Tonga, Keon White, and Milton Williams.
you know what?
I think we had that one, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna go on a quick tangent right now. We got to move Keon White to the edge. He
I know.
is an
Well,
outside linebacker in this system.
he does drop sometimes. He
He
drops
told
into
me
coverage
himself that
sometimes.
he's in the outside linebacker room. The powers that be, they got to move into OLB. It is what it is. But so I look at 5 defensive linemen there.
Okay.
And I think there's the potential that they could add a 6th because I think they wanted Isaiah Eaton to make the roster before he suffered the hip injury. And after that, they signed Kyle Pecco to be like, hey, can this guy do it? Can he be the 6th defensive lineman? That didn't work out. So would not be shocked if they tried to add a 6th defensive lineman. I don't think they would necessarily need to subtract anyone from that group.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be honest. No one in the world used edge as a position. And I've talked about this before until like 10 years ago.
I know.
And so some of
It's
us
because
are
everything
just,
got too complicated. Like, is he a
yeah.
defensive end? Is he an outside linebacker? Depends on the system. So it's
It
just
used
like he's an
to,
edge defender, you know?
you'd have a 3-4 or a 4-3.
I
And we
know.
all knew what we were doing. But
And
now
now everything's nickel.
it's positionless basketball, baby.
Yeah.
Just embrace it. So yeah, the defensive line, nothing too shocking there.
Like Jeremiah Farms, I don't know if I'm like 100% convinced that he's week 1, but
Yeah.
he made it. So, you
Right.
know,
I mean, they got to have inactive people every week too. So
right.
you have linebackers. We'll throw Keon White in there. You have Caleb Von Chase on, Christian Ellis, Jack Gibbons, Anthony Jennings, Harold Landry, Marte Mapu, Elijah Ponder, Robert Spillane. I'd say the only surprises would be Jennings, and then to a lesser extent Mapu.
Yeah. Those were not on everyone's 53-man roster projections. Right. I think Tavai going to IR, designated return, certainly helped Mapu. But if they think they found like a legitimate linebacker, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cam Riley got cut.
Right, to be like the 3rd guy in front of Gibbons. If they think they can find someone better than Gibbons or something, then like maybe Gibbons or Mapu could still be out. And then Jennings, I don't know. He's buried all year on the depth chart. He has a 3-sack performance, hasn't practiced since, and makes the roster. Like for me, I'm like, he's an NFL player, so put him on the roster.
Right.
But I don't know. It still feels like, I guess if they couldn't trade him now at this point, then they're probably not going to. And now it seems pretty unlikely that they're going to cut him too. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like Mapu or Gibbons maybe off Jennings, but I don't think they're going to be looking to add an outside linebacker.
Yeah.
They could potentially look to add an inside linebacker.
We did miss a defensive lineman in our 53. We had Truman Jones because of his offseason.
Yeah.
So he got cut.
Yeah, he got cut, which I'm not shocked by because like him and Swinson both had pretty quiet summers, I would say.
I have an Anthony Jennings quiz for you. You might know this because you're kind of a sicko at knowing stuff. I won't ask you how many defensive snaps Anthony Jennings has played in his NFL career, but I will tell you it's 2,143.
Okay.
2,143. Kind of a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah. I mean, like And he didn't play his what first season,
Second season.
second season, and he barely played his first season. I want to say
I'll tell you how many snaps he had because I got that in front of
300.
me. 292. So
Oh,
yeah,
look at
pretty
that!
good.
Damn.
So 2,143 snaps.
Yeah.
I don't know how many tackles you'd want out of that.
Okay.
Do you happen to know how many total tackles he has?
No, but
Exactly.
since he's an edge defender, he's not going to be in like the 100 per year. I'd say like somewhere around like 50 per year.
Yeah, sure. He's 191 tackles, which
Okay.
to me is not insignificant given the position. 5.5 sacks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you
Not a
said,
lot of production.
though, an NFL player on a roster that isn't necessarily chock full of them. So I don't feel as strongly about it as I do with Duggar,
Right.
but it's the same thought process of, well, if you're going to get rid of him, who better than him is going to be on the roster? And I don't know that they have
Yeah.
that answer.
Right. And like he's an edge setter, but like I don't know if that role really exists on this defense
Yeah.
where like everyone's supposed to get upfield. I think he showed in that second preseason game that he has the ability to get upfield, but that was also against what, third stringers, fourth stringers.
Yeah.
So
Can you play him in the middle in this defense?
like as an inside linebacker,
Probably not. He's too
no,
slow.
he's like, so Belichick tried to do that with him, I think his rookie season. And I was like, what are we doing here? Because like he played at the Senior Bowl, and there was one snap in the Senior Bowl where he ran sideline to sideline, and it looked like Ted Washington was running sideline to sideline. Like he is not a sideline to sideline player. He's
Right.
a guy who eats up blocks and can make plays on the edge. Like you don't really want him in space.
All right.
Yeah.
Anthony Jennings. Moving on. Your cornerback room, our guy DJ James, who's always around the football,
Always around
made
the
it.
ball.
They got everyone here. Alex Austin, Carlton Davis, Christian Gonzalez, DJ James, Marcus Jones.
5 guys. Yep.
5 guys, burgers and fries. That
Yep.
seems to be a position where you could benefit from adding someone.
They've got the 5 guys. Maybe add some burgers and fries to that mix.
Yeah. I mean, for as much as DJ James is a good story and had a good camp, like there's a chance that you can
Yeah.
get him more. But I don't know.
No, I'm with you. I think
He earned his spot.
I think you can afford to add a 6th cornerback there because, like, if you look at your defensive backfield as a whole, I don't know how Mike Vrabel views Brendan Schooler. I don't know how Terrell Williams views Brendan Schooler. Gerard Mayo obviously viewed him as someone who could play on defense. But like, if you don't want to use Schooler on defense at all, then you only have 10 defensive backs on this team for a league that runs so much nickel and dime. That's just not a lot of guys. So
Also,
yeah.
I don't know the percentage of this, but I would venture to guess most special team tacklers, gunners,
Right.
kickoff guys,
Mm-hmm.
I would say there's a higher percentage that play defensive back than wide receiver
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
because they tackle people for a living.
Right. Yeah.
So,
And I actually thought Schooler was like pretty solid in that QB spiral last year.
yeah,
It was fun.
yeah, he can play football.
What did they call it? The Longhorn package?
I think so. Yeah.
That was fun. That, you know what? If you're looking for fun things from last year, and you gotta dig, like you gotta go real hard.
That was one of them.
Fun things from last year. That might be the funnest thing from last year.
Oh no! Well, week 1 win was fun. They beat the
Yeah.
Bengals. That was fun.
Drake May, just like sort of in general, was fun.
The booty touchdown, Drake May.
Booty was fun.
Over what's his name? Over Stingley, right?
Yep.
That was fun. The Jets win. They beat the Jets. Trying to remember that game. I'm sure it was fun. Drake May's 4th down completion to force overtime in Tennessee.
That was fun.
When they didn't go for 2, and then didn't.
If they had won that game, it probably would have been more fun.
And then forgot which way the wind was blowing in overtime. Not fun.
Yeah.
Okay, they beat the Bears.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like it was fun. I have a photographic memory of football games. Some of these games, I'm just completely blanking. Like you're telling me they went to Chicago and won 19-3 last year?
I distinctly remember Caleb Williams' poor body language from that game.
Wow.
Watching him from the press box and being like, yikes.
You know what it was? It was the first year I wasn't writing.
Right.
Until the end when I didn't have anything else to do. So I did some writing. But yeah, not a lot of fun. You got Anthony Richardson in your face. That wasn't fun. Then after the bye, it was really not fun. Even the win was not fun because it
Right.
ruined things. So you're
Yeah,
right.
I mean, Joe Milton was kind of fun.
We could come up with a top 5 fun things from the 2024 season, but that's it. It's
I
all
think,
5.
and
It's
I
the
think the
all 5.
Longhorn package is in there, right?
It's got to be, yeah.
I, like not knowing that Marcus Jones played offense, not fun.
Yeah, did you catch that on EEI? He was asked if he's talked with McDaniels about running plays. He goes, "Well, he does know that I play offense," and it was like, "Oh, I forgot about that." You could make a long list of not fun moments of 2024, but Alex Van
Yeah,
Pelt not knowing until the middle of the season that Marcus Jones played offense, not great, not great.
not great. So yeah, I to answer your question, I think I don't know. I don't think teams really necessarily want to cut good cornerbacks, so I don't know who's out there,
No,
but that does seem like a spot where you could find a sixth guy who could help you out and
yeah,
provide a little bit more depth behind DJ James.
yeah. I just googled cornerback waived.
Tell
Um, let's see, Reese Taylor from the Broncos. Do you like him?
I have zero thoughts on
Cornell
Reese Taylor.
Armstrong from the Dolphins. Are you familiar with him?
Heard the name.
Tariq Castro Fields from the Eagles.
Heard the
This is
name.
this is easy. I just Google stuff and say the names.
I
Uh,
mean, obviously,
Audric Audric Esteem from the Broncos.
he's a running back, I think.
Well, he was in the headline. Okay. All right. We have 2 positions left. The safeties, which we've kind of touched on. You have Duggar, Hawkins, Peppers, Pettis, Schooler, Woodson.
I mean,
Duggar's.
honestly, it's pretty damn deep. Like, if they want to add a legitimate sixth guy, then maybe. But I like Pettis. Peppers, Hawkins, and Woodson are going to be your top guys. Duggar's good depth. Marcus Epps requested his release, which I thought was bold.
Get a head start maybe on the next job.
Yeah, I mean, I looked it up. I did not tweet about Marcus Epps this entire summer,
Hmm.
which
That's.
kind of shows that it was a pretty quiet summer for him.
I could check my tweets. I bet I haven't tweeted about him either. I just got a feeling.
Yeah.
And then lastly, you have your special teamers. You have Julian Ashby, you have Bryce Barringer, and you have Andy Borregales. I'll say this: before the last preseason game, Phil Perry put out his players to watch, and
Mm.
one of them was Julian Ashby, saying some of his snaps have been a little shaky. And I just hand up, I forgot to watch him in that
Man, are
preseason
you
finale.
serious?
I wasn't paying attention. Was there any issue there?
I'm
Did
gonna have
you?
to dock some of your pay for this week.
Were there any issues there? Like, was it ever a question? I mean, you draft a long snapper. I literally
Well,
never thought about it.
Mike Vrabel wasn't happy with the overall execution of the missed 57-yard field goal from Andres Borregales. He said that it was like the entire operation that didn't do well. So I got to figure that the long snapper plays into that. You know?
That's fair. Sorry, I just had to stretch it out a little. Again, you people
Oh,
with your sitting down jobs, I'm out here on my feet being active.
look at
All
this
right, so
guy.
that's the roster. Do you want to know what my number one takeaway was after all the dust settled today?
Yeah.
I found very little of what happened with the Patriots today to be all that interesting. I saved it for 38 minutes into the podcast because that would have been a tough way to start. It's indicative of a team that has a long way to go talent wise.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, 8 receivers. And it's like, oh, I don't know. Where are you looking at that they made a huge shocking cut? Like Braden Swinson being the shocking cut tells you everything you need to know about the state of the roster.
No, I think that's fair. Because yeah, usually a fifth round pick is not a shocking cut. So yeah, I think that's fair. No, I
What
mean
percentage
it's
of 5th round picks make rosters? Like half?
I'd say it's probably more than that, but not like
60%?
a significant amount maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's it's common.
So you sent me a video,
Yeah.
but you made a huge error because it's not an MP4, it's
Oh,
a
that's my bad.
.mov.
What an idiot. Well, can you play the audio?
So I'm trying to figure this out. If I can somehow export this as an MP4, I'll try to play the audio.
Yeah.
Let's
I
see if
mean,
I
the
can
video is
drag
not
it
as important
into.
as the audio. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that unfair? Like, it's because we did this exercise last week,
Right.
and so perhaps it was a self-fulfilling prophecy of some sort. But there was no move or decision or overarching philosophy where you're like, how could they do that? I mean, there's interesting aspects. I didn't think anyone would trade for Duggar in his salary.
Right.
So
Well,
I
I
don't know.
think is it somewhat surprising to you that they didn't make any trades?
Yeah, I would say yeah, but I don't think it's because they didn't try, right?
Right.
So it's
Yeah, I think they
surprising they
just
didn't pull
like
any off.
right. I
It's
think
surprising Javon Baker made the team, but
yeah,
for how
that
long?
is surprising. And yeah, no, that is the question of for how long? Because someone like I would you be shocked if they don't claim someone off waivers?
Oh yeah, I would think they have room to add a number of players. Like I wouldn't even put a number on it. I could
Yeah,
probably find spots for 5 guys right now, and we probably just did right now.
I know. Yeah, just looking at it right now, like
They need
Baker.
they need an offensive lineman,
Yeah,
right? They probably need a third tight end. They probably need another cornerback.
right. And guys they could lose would be like Baker, Westover, Lowe, Wallace, potentially Farms, Gibbons, Mapu,
There's also the thing, like I don't know
maybe Pettis.
if
I figured out the video thing.
okay.
So let
Well,
me know
let's
when
just say
you
like
have
if
it done.
Jennings got cut
Right. Yeah.
today, there's a
Right.
chance a team might claim him tomorrow. If Jennings gets cut tomorrow,
Right.
it probably lessens that chance, and then you keep him in some role in a practice squad or something like that.
Right. Or I guess the same thing with Duggar. Like maybe they wind up finding a trade partner for one of these guys. Like this is gonna blow your mind, but there's still 12 days
I
until week
know.
one.
Well,
So
oh,
there's
that
there's time to be
sucks.
doing these things. It's
That freaking
crazy.
sucks.
It's so nuts.
Here's a question for you, Patriots reporter Doug Kyed, Boston Herald. Let's say it's not 12 days from now. Let's say kickoff is 90 minutes from right now, week one, Patriots Raiders. Which of your 8 wide receivers are active and inactive? I feel like I named them already, but there's
So
you could how
you
many do
have to dress Stephon Diggs,
you have to?
Demario Douglas,
Yes.
Mac Hollins,
Yeah.
and Keyshawn Booty. You
Okay.
have to dress them. I think there could be a spot for one more guy.
Which you would assume or presume you would want it to be your third round pick from this year.
But I don't know if it would be him.
It's role dependent.
I guess it could be. So if he's healthy,
Well, put it this
sure.
way.
Yeah,
Put
it
it
comes.
this
I
way.
guess it comes down. It obviously comes down to Williams, Bourne, or Chisholm.
Well,
Chisholm and Williams are
consider
both
this,
hurt right
right?
now. Yeah,
There's 4 guys that you already named.
right.
Let's say any one of them gets hurt. Who knows the offense best and could
Kendrick
fill
Bourne.
in a spot? And
I,
that's where Kendrick Bourne comes in.
honestly, though, who knows the offense better between Kendrick Bourne and Efton Chisholm? Like it's a good. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chisholm's been doing it all summer, at least.
It's an interesting, like, what if Chisholm was active over Kyle Williams?
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Like Williams spent more time in the first team offense, but Chisholm also was far more productive. Obviously, that's the roles are different.
Mm-hmm.
Chisholm's getting open a lot more shallow than Kyle Williams. Williams was getting open, guys weren't getting the ball. But yeah, I mean, it's not like Ponder past Braden Swinson on the depth chart. I know that's a 5th round UDFA, but like 3rd round UDFA isn't that significantly different. I think it's
Yeah.
where you feel more comfortable about your depth outside versus inside.
Yeah.
And like Hollins can play inside. Booty, Elliot Wolf was saying, knows all 3 positions. Diggs can play inside. So maybe they're happy enough with their slot receivers that they just wanted another outside guy like Kyle Williams.
It's just funny. Well, I wouldn't say funny. That's probably not the right word. A team whose leading receiver at the wide receiver position last year had 621 yards,
Yeah,
drafts a guy in the 3rd round, like with a good pedigree, and
right.
by all accounts should be a good pick, is going to struggle to get playing time in a wide receiver room that added one big name. It's kind of crazy.
We're at the 44-minute mark.
Okay.
I'm
What's
going
that
to
mean?
say something that's potentially dumb and has the chance to, I don't know.
It's the safe space.
I'm like irrationally confident in this wide receiver group right now. Like I'm like, I shouldn't be, but Douglas has had a good camp. Stephon Diggs is Stephon Diggs. Keyshawn Booty's had a really good camp.
Yeah.
And Mac Hollins, like, picks the football off guys' helmets more often than you'd think, and like toe taps and stuff. Like he has some drops, but a lot of the drops that he has is like, well, no one else could have even gotten near that ball because they're not 6'4", and like they don't have the length. So like it's obviously not going to be probably even like a top half in the NFL group, but like Booty's been good, Douglas has been good, Diggs has been good. All three of those guys have the potential to be like 600-yard plus receivers. They've almost all done it before. Like Douglas and Booty came close last year, or Booty
Yeah.
Douglas might have done it, and then like Hollins last time he played it under McDaniel's had 600 something yards. Like all these guys can kind of play. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess it's more on the O line than it is them. Like there's
It
guys,
is.
they're
It is. And it's
capable.
on May too. He has to get them the ball.
True. It's just Kyle Williams had 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns last year, and
Right.
it's just crazy to think about it when you put it in that context. But
It's
yeah,
a tough skill set though for him because he's like 5'11", 180 pounds, and he's an outside receiver, you know? And he's not like, if you look at Kyle Williams next to Kayshon Boutte, they might be listed around the same height and weight or whatever, but Bootie's just so much bigger and stronger than Kyle
well,
Williams is at this point.
and this was a summer where the head coach loved talking about play strength,
It's
so
very true.
it's a
Yeah.
pretty significant
You
factor
see
to
Matt
get him on the
Collins
field.
knock Vrabel on his ass.
I did.
And Vrabel got up like laughing maniacally about it.
Yeah, we've discussed this on the Patch Chat podcast before. Mike Vrabel like needs to cool it. He could have torn his ACL on that play. And then he's
Yeah.
the coach like Patricia on the
Yeah, on the
scooter.
scooter. Yeah.
Or he's, wheeling around in a golf cart. And I just feel like he's not going to like that. And he's going to be ornery. Like there's a difference between kind of getting hit a little bit and then just like getting run over by an NFL wide receiver.
Right.
And he's 50 years old. I'm just looking out for the man.
We haven't really talked about the rats comment, right?
Probably not. Well, we did a post-game podcast. You were in the car. It was at 1 a.m. I cannot tell you what was or was not said on that podcast.
Thank you for keeping me awake on that drive, by the way.
Yeah, thank you
I
for
survived.
posting it. And listeners know I was suspicious that Doug the Rat was just keeping me awake and was not actually going to post the podcast.
I posted that at 5 a.m. When I got back to Truro. But
Good
so
Lord.
the rat thing has been made a huge deal. People have been like, is it Elliot Wolf? Is it this guy? Is it that guy? Is it I think my buddy Fitzy was like, is it Duron Mayo? It's like it's not. I don't think it's pointed at anyone specific, certainly not anyone that like is front facing in the organization. And I think it's just my theory on it is they don't want things to leak. So I think that's kind of a shot in general
Yeah.
to agents, to players, to people within the organization that like, we are not an organization that wants things to leak. So I'm just going to throw it out there in general that we got to find those rats. And I think it was said in jest, but I think that there was something behind it of like, hey, we're not doing that here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thought on it.
Yeah, I mean, of all things to throw I won't call it a fit because it was contained. It wasn't out of control, but whatever. Make a big deal out of. Polk going on IR feels like an odd choice. So
No,
I guess
I think it was like he saw a lane to throw that out there. He saw a path. He was like, this is my chance to take this shot.
yeah, it was low stakes enough to
Low
not
stakes
really...
enough that like, all right, I'm gonna do it now. Before cuts, before all these things come out, I'm gonna just do it now because we don't want things leaking out.
Yeah. That's a fair take. I'm gonna let your take be the Pat's Chat word on it because that was well said.
I think there was a lot of ridiculous things that came out from it.
Right, like it's Elliot Wolf, it's Matt Rowe.
Is it because there's a divide in the organization? Is it Mike Vrabel throwing a shot at Elliot?
Duron Mayo is a great one though. That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that there was like, and obviously they're not doing my job. So like they can do that. That's entertainment, you know?
Yeah.
But if we're being serious about it, then maybe listen to what I just said.
I guess the thought process was who would stand to benefit from that leaking out, and the only thing anyone could come up with was Wolf because, my second round pick didn't get cut. He's hurt. But that would have come out. I don't know Elliot Wolf personally. I guess I don't trust anyone in the world. That's just me. But he doesn't strike me as someone that needy. for
Right.
that particular story to be the leading, like, and I don't think it would change anything. I don't think any, like, you ask anyone like in your
Right.
position, was Jalen Polk going to make the roster?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
So I don't think it changes that.
No, and I think that there are other people who can benefit from like Jalen Polk wasn't cut. He's actually on IR, so it was going to come out one way or the other.
Right.
And he did wind up going on IR and he can't return. So his season's over. And my guess is that he's probably not going to have a spot next year either.
Well, he'll have a chance to compete.
But it'll already be behind everyone who's on the roster now, plus everyone they add next year. So
Yeah.
it just gets like he gets pushed further and further down the line as it goes along.
We don't need to do it now, but I'm sure some of those guys will be gone. But
No, I'm sure.
not.
Yeah, like Bourne will probably be gone, but Diggs could be. But like at the very least, he'll probably be entering behind Douglas and Booty and Chisholm and
whoever they
Williams.
take in the second round next year.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. I have a non-Patriots football information take question sort for you. You are a football fan, correct?
Yes.
Okay, me
Love
too.
it.
I actually have a football here to prove that I am a football fan. It's not a big deal that I have. Are you getting a football too?
Ooh, it's a little deflated.
Oh, nice. My specialty. That's a
Deflated
nice
joke.
ball. Do you remember there was a website called like Sports Writers Holding Balls? And it would be like columnists holding the ball, whether it's a football. Ooh, Doug's Buds on the ball.
Doug's Buds on it.
That's pretty nice. Mine says Roger Goodell. So
mine also says Roger Goodell, but also
I'm serious about this. You know what else I love? It's football, directly football, not even football adjacent. It is a show called Hard Knocks. And it used to be the driver of the zeitgeist in the NFL. Everyone was talking about, let's go to get a goddamn snack. Became a legendary meme before memes were memes.
Yeah.
Have you watched 1 second of the Buffalo Bills on Hard Knocks?
No, I haven't watched Hard Knocks in like 5 years, I think.
I've watched it pretty regular. Like even last year with the Jets, I watched some of that. And I watched some of the in-season last year. I haven't, not only have I not watched the Bills one, I haven't seen a headline about the Bills one.
No, it's true. Yeah.
I think what's happening is we are seeing Hard Knocks die right in front of our eyes. Like the league rejected it so much that it became so watered down and so, what is it when you like clean something up? It's not pasteurized. It's sanitized.
Sanitized, yeah.
I went to college. It became so sanitized that it isn't worth watching, which is crazy because it was every summer, like it's like the introduction to football season. Right? Remember when the Texans were on and it was like, oh, is this defensive back who has no chance of making the team?
Right.
Boy, I hope he makes the team.
Yeah.
It's just like, it was such an important part and now it seems to be gone.
So I think as being a television expert, a football expert, just an entertainment expert in general, I blame this on a few things. Number one, how many television shows in general last for like 20 years and are still successful? Like you're looking at like The Simpsons, a show that no one talks about anymore. South Park, a show that no one talked about for like 10 years until recently. Like these shows just kind of exist for the diehards, but no one really pays attention to them in general after a while. So I think that's one part of it. But also, NFL has always got a little bit greedy where they were like, you know what, we're going to do in-season Hard Knocks. We're going to do off-season Hard Knocks. We're going to do a bunch of mic'd up things. People love Hard Knocks. We're going to make Hard Knocks the NFL. And then everyone was like, whoa, this is too much Hard Knocks to take. I'm not going to follow any of it because that's what I do when someone overexposes something and I can't follow every single tiny bit of it. I'm like, well, I might as well not watch none of it, which was me with baseball for like 10 years, where it's like, there's too many games. They're too long. I'm not going to watch any of them, you know?
Yeah, no, it's a fair thought. I think there's two more. I throw social media in. Like you get so much more behind the scenes access. You have teams doing it now,
for sure.
Their own productions. You saw it with the Forge and Foxborough thing. I know the Jets have been doing it for years. So, like I feel like last year there was, what's the Jets one called? I forget. Is it One Jets Drive?
Forged in Florham Park. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It was on at the same time as Hard Knocks, I'm pretty sure. It's like competing. And then the other is sort of the shock value of NFL films not having swears edited out has maybe worn off.
Right.
Because in the early 2000s, it was like, oh, I've seen NFL films, but it's always beep, beep,
Right.
boop. So I guess that's an element. And now it's just teams hate it and
Yeah.
don't give them anything and have probably Final Cut,
Right.
which they always had to a degree when it came to strategy, but nothing else.
I used to watch Hard Knocks like with my wife. Like she would be entertained
Yeah.
enough by Hard
I
Knocks.
watched the
But like,
Texans one, certainly with, so we probably weren't married yet, but it was like a drama.
yeah, I don't think I could pay Jen to watch Hard Knocks now at this point.
No. And even
So
the past few years, I feel like, who was it before the Jets? I don't even remember. I've watched it a little bit and then not finished. So
yeah.
it's
I
too
can't
bad.
remember the last one I watched front to back.
Should we do it? Should we do the Hard Knocks list?
I guess.
All right. List of Hard Knocks seasons. Now I remember. You want to know my favorite Hard Knocks memory? This is the Jets were on. What year was it? 2010. Does that align? No, it was the Chiefs in 07 with Herm Edwards, and so they were in a dorm of some sort.
Was Brody Croyle involved in that one?
Probably, I don't remember, but so they're in like a dorm, right? And
He was.
the veterans all get their own room, I
Yeah.
guess, and the rookies had to bunk. They had to share a room with someone on the first floor. Like that was how they. And so this veteran, maybe a second year player who was injured, went to Herm Edwards and was like, "I don't want to bunk with someone. I'm a veteran." And Herm was just like, "But you're not playing. But you're not playing. But you're not playing." And he turns around and it's just a blank whiteboard and he points at it and he goes, "You're not playing," as if the wall said it. And it was like, what a moment. I don't know that you get stuff like that. I don't think Sean McDermott's getting that anymore.
No, I agree with that.
All right, so here's your seasons. I threw you off. Ready?
First I'm looking at them right now as well. I think like maybe the Lions was the last one I watched.
Yeah, I watched that one. I did watch the Cardinals in season for some reason. So we're working back. Let's go back to the beginning. You had the Ravens. I remember the first one. I don't remember the Cowboys in 02. And then there was a 5-year gap to the Chiefs. Yeah. I remember the Cowboys in 08. The Bengals in 09.
Amendola was on that one.
Really?
Yeah.
The Bengals in 09 was great because I feel like Carson Palmer was walking around with Ocho Cinco and T.O.
Do you know what I like?
And
Jen and I will still sometimes quote that one because Carson Palmer went through this whole thing where he's like, when you're like 36, you can still say you're in your mid 30s, but then like you can carry that on, then be like, oh, I'm in my mid to late 30s until a certain point. But then when you're 39, you're just in your late 30s. So that's one thing. And then also their tight ends, they had a tight end named Chase something that season, Chase Kaufman. And their tight ends coach just like would not lay off him. He'd be like, Chase. There's just like clips over and over of him just like being driven crazy by this guy. So sometimes I'll still quote that too.
Was that the year though that they had T.O.?
Yeah, I think so.
I just feel like I have vivid memories of Carson Palmer's face being like, I can't believe this is what I'm dealing with.
No, actually, I don't think they did.
Oh, that wasn't T.O.?
Ocho Cinco. Chris Henry was very entertaining on that one.
Okay.
RIP to Chris Henry, one of my favorites.
So then 2010 was the famous Jets one, probably the most popular season of all.
Danny Woodhead. Yeah.
2012. They didn't have one in 2011 because the lockout. It was lockout.
2012.
Dolphins.
Yeah. They I remember that one.
Was that what's his name? The Philbin?
Yep, it was Joe Philbin. Not the most entertaining.
No. So they went back to the Bengals in 2013?
Yeah. Yep. I don't remember much of that one, I will say.
Yeah, I was probably busy doing cool stuff. You had the Falcons. Don't recall that one. Texans in 15, we talked about that one. Rams in 16, that was didn't Jeff Fisher get fired? No, that was mid-season. What was that on?
Jared Goff's rookie year?
Didn't Jeff Fisher get fired on one of these shows?
I don't know.
I remember seeing the clip of him telling his team in a meeting, like, well, I just got fired.
Maybe.
But he didn't get fired in the summer before the season, so I'm not sure.
He was still in the Rams for that.
Yeah, I don't know. The Bucks, I remember that. That was a boring one. Yeah, there's a lot of boring ones in there. The Browns.
Raiders. I remember the Raiders one in 2019 being like, Derek Carr does not seem like a great leader.
Well, that was a huge one because remember Antonio Brown, the hot air balloon, the feet, the helmet.
Yep.
That was a good one. That was
Yeah,
chaos.
it's true.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's
So
dead.
2020 they did the Chargers and Rams. That was a COVID one. I don't know. That might have been that might have been
Yeah,
like the
COVID did
beginning of the end.
COVID killed
COVID,
it.
and then you're doing two teams. It's just not the same.
Then you're doing the in-season one. The
Right.
Dolphins one though was very instructive. I am fully out on Mike McDaniel because of the in-season Hard Knocks. Like I don't I I think that you could see it completely end his control of
Mm.
that room. So, anyways, I just think it's the end of a pretty significant era of NFL entertainment because no one gives a crap about Hard Knocks. But reading through those, some of those we didn't notice, so maybe I'm wrong.
I
Hopefully, I
know
am.
that like the Falcons one. I'm like, I have no thoughts whatsoever on that one.
We were young then, so we were probably doing cool guy stuff. In the
Speak
summer,
for yourself.
at night, I wasn't hanging out watching TV. I didn't have HBO all the time. I really usually didn't. So
That's true too. I would sometimes have to like
I would
illegally
pirate.
download it.
Yeah,
Yeah, pirate
I
it.
would definitely do that. I mean, no, I never did that before.
Well, it's been like 10 years.
That's true.
Is that the
Statute of
statute of
limitations.
limitations for
Yeah.
pirating Hard Knocks?
Yep.
Good. We're
We did it.
free.
All right.
Wow. Hour. You want me to play this clip or no?
Yeah, no, because I was listening to a podcast. It was the Amy Poehler podcast, which I like to
Okay.
listen to because it's pretty positive in a dark world.
It's one of the 100 best podcasts of all time. I don't know if you caught that.
That's a little premature because I think it's like 2 months old. And I really
Yep.
only listen when the guest is someone I know, so I can't speak to that. But I don't know. Maybe it is, but I don't know. This is a clip
We
from when
were
Seth Meyers was
101,
on.
by the way.
I know we just missed it. We did get the
Yeah.
letter in the mail. They said,
Yeah.
Pat's chat, we are so sorry.
We were so close.
By 2050, when we do this again,
Yep.
you're going to make it.
That's
So
true.
speaking of podcasters, I was one of the first people today to
Mhm.
see the Taylor Swift engagement news. I was
Wow.
home and I opened my phone. I think I took a screenshot. I saw the Taylor Swift post. I didn't save it. 36 seconds after it was posted, and it already had 450 likes. So I am pretty much like the newsbreaker when it comes to that. I didn't tell anyone because I figured everyone would get it anyway.
I have one thing to say about that. We're past the hour-long mark, so
You can say whatever you want.
we can say whatever we want.
You can say whatever the hell you want.
Listen, I think it's great that people love Taylor Swift. I'm in a house with people who love Taylor Swift. But I'm also allowed to think it's maybe slightly strange that people seem happier that Taylor Swift got engaged than I've ever been about anyone in my life ever getting engaged.
Hmm.
And like, even when like, if my daughter ever gets engaged, I will be extremely happy for her. But I think some Taylor Swift fans are happier about this than I will be about that.
It's an interesting perspective on it. I wonder how much of it is performative because it's always like I have to prove I'm
That
the
is true.
biggest Taylor
That's fair.
Swift fan.
That's fair.
And so if I cry on camera and
Right.
post it on Instagram, I will prove that I care. Like I think there's
I think that's fair.
I think there's a ton of emotional connection with like probably the large majority of Taylor Swift fans who are like,
Yeah.
oh, that's really nice. She has meant a lot to me. Her songs have
Right.
meant a lot to me. I'm happy for her and they're
Yeah.
normal about it, but we're not seeing them.
Right. And
You're
because like
seeing
when
the
one of
extreme.
my friends gets engaged, I'll be like, oh, that's nice. Like I'm not like I am so happy for this person. This is the, like this has made my day like innumerably better.
Yeah.
I also obviously like we're not the ones to do this. Taylor Swift has like figured out how to be like the most important celebrity of all time. I don't think that anyone has ever felt as strongly about a celebrity as some people feel about Taylor Swift. And like I'm sure that's already been studied for like how that happened, but there's never been a celebrity in my life that I would even go so far as to be like I'm happy for that person if they got engaged. Like it wouldn't like necessarily like resonate in my head that like
Yeah.
this matters enough to that person that I should be happy for them.
The people I'm the biggest fans of, I don't know much about their lives.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but I would say I'd argue there's been plenty of celebrities that people have that level of maybe passion about, but there's just more of them, I feel. Go to Times Square in 1999 when the Backstreet Boys are at TRL. and you've got people fainting in
That's
Times
fair.
Square.
Yeah, I think that like that's just divided over 5 people rather than for one person. Like
Mostly it was
obviously like
Howie
the
D.
Beatles,
Yeah, that
but
was a
that's
big one.
also 4 people versus one. Like I mean, I guess
Michael Jackson,
Elvis, Michael
Elvis.
Jackson, Taylor Swift. But like if Michael Jackson got engaged in 1987, are there people like crying on
I don't know.
camera to be like,
Social
"I'm
media
so
is a
happy for
factor.
him"?
Social
Yeah,
media is a factor too.
I don't
Anyways,
know.
I,
We've
I
done
don't
our.
I don't have a
Well,
leg to stand on because the other day I bought a
did you
Tom.
cry when she got engaged? Be
I did
honest.
not cry. I bought a Tom DeLonge Padres hat.
Oh, nice.
Probably not going to look good in it, but
Which
I have
color?
pink. The blue one was sold
Nice.
out, but
Mm.
I have been a fan for 25 years and have no merch of theirs. Like their merch is
Oh, interesting.
never matched
Yeah.
my vibe. So I figured I'll try the hat, but it's
Yeah.
like, why'd you buy the Tom DeLonge Padres hat? You didn't have to buy the Tom DeLonge You really didn't, but I did. So who am I to say anything about anyone? Because I'm the same. I'm just hairier.
I have some bootleg Blink-182 shirts that are better than their official merch.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever owned a Blink shirt.
That's wild. I've owned
Yeah.
a few in my day.
It's possible. It's possible, but I don't think so. I know when I saw them at Suffolk Downs, I bought a Newfound Glory shirt.
I think I bought a Blink shirt that day.
And then when I saw them with Green Day, I didn't buy anything because I
Mm.
could barely afford to be there. And then when I saw them with No Doubt, I didn't buy anything.
Mm.
So I never bought it at the show.
No.
And then when I went to the garden, geez, the line was like from the corner of the garden to like
I also
the
don't think
other
they had good
corner.
merch for that tour.
They had the "Where Are You" sweatshirt, which was
Oh
nice. It
yeah.
was like the shopping bag. Anyways, back to the
The
podcast
clip.
clip. Yeah, go ahead, play it, fire it up.
And I've been saying, like, there's so much written about like how as men get older, they have no friendships. So you got to start a podcast. To all lonely men, start a podcast.
Well, I think every man has done that because every
I
single
think they might.
podcast
By the
I
way-
see is just filled with lonely men trying to make friends.
True story. During
Yeah. Hey, I mean, like 3,000 people are watching this one, so
Yeah, I think we've shared our
At the
origin
moment.
story, which was like, I'd like to talk to you. So let's do a podcast because it'd be weird any other way. So
yeah,
very, very, as the kids say, I felt seen in that moment.
yeah. There's always those memes that are like, no, but the thing about our podcast is that we talk about movies and it's funny. Like, oh well, we talk about the Patriots and it's I don't know, somewhat funny. But
What we could do though, I got an idea during that. We could just play the Amy Poehler podcast, and we could be in the top 100 and like real fast.
that's true. Yeah,
So
dissecting Amy Poehler's podcast.
and we just play it. We just
Just-
record it and play it, and see what happens.
might get sued. We don't have to worry about getting arrested for pirating Hard Knocks, but we
Yeah,
might
that
get
was
sued
a
for that one.
sample. That was a sample. But yeah, I just found that interesting because it's like that is the only route to making a friend. I was talking to someone recently and they were having trouble making friends, and I'm like, have you tried starting a podcast
You
with someone?
considered starting a podcast.
Because other than that, you can't just go up to people like, hey, will you be my friend?
Yeah,
You need like a guy's GUISE,
Yeah.
a cover for your real intention. And so it's interesting.
one last thing because we should get out of here. It's past the time. I'm personally at the point in my life where like usually for a birthday party for your children, you're like, oh, I'll just invite the kids of my friends so that like I have someone to hang out with at the party. And like, this is an excuse to like see my friends at my kid's birthday party. But now like Olivia's going to be 8.
She's got
She
friends.
has her own friends.
Yeah.
And like, if she invites my friends' kids, all of whom are like of different ages, then it's just like, well, what do we do with that kid when all these other kids are hanging out together? So like now and like my friends are past that point where like she's getting invited to parties and I don't know, it's not great.
I've been to many birthday parties and soccer games and all that. And I just want to state for the record, when I'm talking to other kids' parents about the weather, it's not because I'm socially awkward and have nothing to talk about. It's because the weather is an interesting topic. So that's why I'm talking to them about the rain that we got last weekend or it's been kind of warm lately. That's just because that's super interesting and it's a cool thing to talk about, not because I can't think of anything else.
I would rather talk about that with my kids' parents, kids' friends' parents, than football. That's the worst when they want to talk about my job.
I don't mind that.
Oh, I hate it. I don't know.
Sometimes, you know what I do hate when people are like, oh, I'm sure it's the last thing you want to talk about, Mike, but what about, and I'm like, I'm not, but I guess that's true for you. You're just, I mean, I thought we had a thing going with the football, but I guess it's just part-time for you.
Olivia doesn't have a single friend whose parents I like gel with, I would say.
It's tough. I always think the other parents are looking at me like a little rat boy, like a little piece of crap. Maybe that's just insecurity. I don't know, but I don't know. It's interesting because I guess
unless someone does my job, because I get along with like basically every Patriots beat reporter, and like I get along with a lot of like the NFL people, other beat writers, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Or if someone like grew up listening to like pop punk or hardcore, like unless you fit into one of those buckets, then I'm probably not going to get along with you.
If someone's class of 04, you got a lot to work with, one way or the other. Like
it's true.
Pop culture, anything.
Yeah.
So that's step one. If you're not class of 04, it's an uphill climb.
Then it becomes a little trickier. Yeah.
And that's the thing. There are some parents that are older, and some that I guess like when Penny's we were like younger because we were in our 20s when we had her. So
yeah,
a lot of her friend parents, or maybe no, I don't know. I guess it's varied, but I still feel like I'm 7 years old.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where it stems from.
Well,
that's why you got to do a podcast. You got to do a podcast.
So that's the Patriots 53-man roster.
That is existentialism. Here we go. Concert this week, by the way.
Is it the Coheed week?
Coheed and Taking Back Sunday, Saturday night. So if anyone's going to be there, find me.
Luck for Michael. I won't be there. I don't know what my next concert is.
We'll end on this because it's relevant to our podcast. Have we talked at all about Taking Back Sunday on this podcast?
Not a lot, but like I've avoided seeing them because the live performances have not looked great.
I've seen them a ton of times and they've been great a ton of times. I saw them last summer, and Mark O'Connell, the drummer, who I think is one of the better drummers in the whole genre, abruptly left the band right before they went on tour, and they had this fill-in who was not good, and it just like sucked the energy out of their performance. He just like Mark O'Connell is like a battering ram of energy. Like even when they have like on their newest album, they have sort of softer acoustic songs, and he's just like chugging through. Like he's a powerhouse. And they replaced him with this, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll give you a break. But he's on tour with them right now, and it's like this backup who just has no energy or it's just like, oh, it's like I play the songs better than that. You gotta. So I'm pretty bummed out that
that's
they're gonna. Yeah,
it's
gonna be tough. They do have Fred Mascarino touring with them because John Nolan took this tour off and didn't say why. And then yesterday he said he needs spinal fusion or something to that effect. So.
Yikes.
It's good that they made good with Fred. If you didn't know, that ended poorly. Back in the day.
Well, that's good that he's back. That's when I kind of started to lose a little bit of interest. Not gonna lie. But my favorite band, the Beach Boys, have canceled their last two shows, which, when two of the members are like 82 and 83 years old, not always the best thing. So, I'm personally hoping that we're not talking about. We're not speaking sadly about the Beach Boys again in the next like month.
It could also be spinal fusion.
Could be, yeah.
One thing you don't get on any other podcast. You joke, oh, ours is we talk about movies, but it's funny. You don't go Taking Back Sunday straight to Beach Boys literally on any other podcast in the history of podcasts. So you're welcome, everybody.
That is very true. All right. Well, we will talk to you guys again soon. We'll see. Like we got almost 2 weeks before the regular season starts. So the next thing we talk about will probably be other moves the Patriots make, and then we'll start to talk about that Raiders game. But until then, I don't know. If you've made it this far, you have to rate, subscribe. You have to either rate or review.
Yeah.
Okay? This is a promise you're making to me. You've already done this enough, but now you might as well, do something. Put a review on Spotify or on Apple or do whatever you want.
I just realized though, we forgot to talk about something we should, like you're required to talk about. So 5 seconds. Jacoby Myers. They don't have enough receivers as is.
So I actually would not be opposed to the idea of trading like Booty or Douglas plus a pick for him, just because I think it raises the floor of the offense.
The guy had 1,000 yards last year.
Right. And like if you're talking about like, obviously, like I love Demario Douglas, great guy, great player. He's been possibly their best wide receiver this summer. But if you're looking at like the ideal of a Josh McDaniels slot receiver in 2025, it probably is someone who's a little bit bigger, you know, and who can block a little bit better. So,
All right.
I don't think it's going
not
to
gonna
happen.
Yeah, not going to happen.
But yeah, we talked.
There we did it. So now we were just begging for more ratings and subscriptions. So
It's true.
did you like
yeah,
that
if you
one?
stuck out this long, then you got that too.
Did you like
Look
that
at us
little
with our
tidbit?
footballs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a football guy. All right, good stuff. Maybe we'll have an emergency podcast. I hope so.
Me too. Goodbye.